The date is November 16th, 2025, Championship Sunday for two of the biggest shooters in esports, Counter-Strike 2 and Rainbow Six Siege, and looking for glory in both is Team Falcons. But before we get into that, let's get some backstory. Team Falcons first joined the scene back in 2017, based in Saudi and co-founded by Madasi, who would actually go on to win the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And just like with every great adventure in esports, they set out to do one thing: win. Falcons would actually start fielding teams in their own region and would see actually good results in games especially like Rocket League. However, in 2022, they would gain a very important sponsor, the STC. With their ties to the Saudi public investment, Team Falcons would earn the infinite money glitch.
Here we go, money talk.
Here comes the money.
And after earning this achievement, they would begin their takeover of esports. Now, say what you want about the politics of the Falcons and their sponsors, I don't care. They've made it very clear they're here to stay and to win, no matter the cost. And yet, money doesn't seem to always buy results. Just look at their Valorant team, winning A and B tier tournaments, but never in an S tier. They have yet to go into League of Legends. Yeah, I'm sure they're waiting on T1 to cash the check. And in 2025, they would join Call of Duty and finish last place. Better luck next year. Team Falcons actually has the most teams out of any other esports organization, and yet still only beat Team Liquid by 1,000 points in the Esports World Cup, where first place, no matter the game, earns 1,000 points, but we'll save that for another video. So even after earning the achievement, it still goes to show money does not get you that star on that jersey. Now, enough of the overview, let's see Falcons go bye-bye. Now, before we get into another hilarious Falcons choke, let's give a brief overview of their roster for their Counter-Strike 2 team. And if you want to see more about this actually really talented team, go check out FiCS2 for his videos on the Falcons. They're amazing, hilarious. In January 2025, Nico joins, and a day later, Falcons acquired Tesses, Kicksan, and Dexter for the biggest buyout in CS2 history. And I'm pretty sure it's in all of esports too. Like, in any esports, I'm pretty sure it's the biggest. Dexter would be replaced by Monasi in April, after Dexter got them the first CS2 S-tier win. And in June, they would sign the hot new rookie, Keisuke. So we got our players, and clearly, you got probably the best rifler ever, Nico. Upcoming Opper, who looks to be on track to be the best, Monasi. A great in-game leader, Kicksan. And a, Dong 2.0 basically. How they do? They would finish 9th to 12th place in their first event. It's okay, it happens. Clearly, there's some growing pains. And after a kind of mixed bag of results, they make it to playoffs, and they actually don't even have to play the first day. It's actually crazy good for them. Very lucky. And after finishing second 4 times, they look to make a change and blast rivals. Monasi, who had been kind of missing for the past couple events, is shooting better than ever. However, when day 2 goes around, who do they have to play? Team Vitality.
Kicksan, he might push into this and simply die. Saiwu gets one.
It is timing to perfection. It is a man advantage robbed back out of that just when you thought you could begin to believe. Pressure out from heaven. Kiyosaki gets this. And this is where it ends. Or is this where it begins?
Mr. President, they've done it. The team that they have struggled to beat so many times throughout this year, and they finally have done it. And only one team stands in their way. Team Furia. Team Furia, who actually also coming off of some pretty controversial roster changes, reviving hot rifler Yukindar, and bringing in a rookie Opper, Moladoy. And let's just say they're looking to make a splash. 2 teams, Furia and Falcons. 2 amazing Oppers and riflers on both sides. 1 all-time legend IGL Fallen and up-and-coming IGL Kicksan. Let's see how this goes.
Seconds, we get that smoke down towards top middle. Still a bunch of utility here held on to Furia. Falcons really haven't beaten down on anything. Kixan, good early positioning. Okay. Nets with a triple and just inches off the ace.
These shots take them down. Let's see if they have the courage. They're gearing up for it. Needs to be instant to the dome.
Wow, this is bravery.
Wait a second.
Fury and just a few straight shots. Multiply his frags, and we go down to a Kixan clutch real quick.
If he pushes it.
Pressing it down, it's low health for Yuri. Bomb's still not planted. Kixan to the top rope. Now it's going to be a scramble.
He should run.
Queserados wrap around, and the fight's right there. Clutch early. Just repetitive.
Those HEs are unreal. That's going to be the story of the match, and this keeps going this way.
Nico trying to step up for more. That's a 3K. Player behind the car. Kill Nico. And so we can look across around that arch, but it's not the case. Yuri, Beretta's in hand, under pressure, and Fallen comes back from the library kill. Here we go. Multi-kills emerging, but still damage done on both Monacy and Kixan. And with the bomb getting dropped, it's going to force Monacy out. And then as Monacy doubles back. He gets killed from the short push. Kixan surrounded.
Not another clutch.
You're kidding. 2 headshots back. Who is this? Furious choice of a map. They wanted to start this grand finals here. And that has got to be a sickening feeling, knowing this entire time your fight has been damn near non-existent. Still, setting up the M4. It's an ace called on Yuri, but remember, no kit in the middle of all this. Desperate to push through. And as he taps that bomb, his back's offered over. Falcons strike first.
Map 1 was absolutely entertaining, and if you're a Falcons fan. 13-3, and mainly thanks to the multi-frags of Kixan, going absolute nuclear. Now, I'm going to skip some of the fluff. Maps 2 and 3, still super entertaining, but definitely not as entertaining as the first and the last one. Nuke would be kind of a blowout, 13-9, and Train would go overtime, but it still seemed like Fury was in control for most of that game. However, here we go, Mirage.
Closer, he remains in the shadows. This is Falcons getting closer to that bomb now. The retake's in full effect. Monacy stomping over. It's a headshot immediately. No! You've got to fight for it, even if 3 deaths feels like it's deflating. Monacy finds one, Kixan connects with a headshot. This is a 2v5 coming together. Bomb is also past the halfway line. You've always got to believe. Monacy! Incredible return back from Molodoi, and he's going to drop that on top of the bomb. It is nothing but stardom, but time.
I'm sorry. Did you just do that? Molodoi has no respect, man. He went absolutely nuclear on Dust 2, on Mirage. I mean, this kid is consistent. I mean, map 1 might have been a shutout, but he came to play.
No kill, though.
Great damage. What was that?
Falcons would go on to lose. And to be honest, rewatching that game, the maps were actually pretty close, but Furia was clearly the better team. Falcons could not get all their players firing at the same time, which pretty much ultimately led to their downfall. So once again, Falcons would go home, taking second place. Now, let's skip forward a couple hours. We head to Munich, Germany for the Munich Major of Rainbow Six Siege. We find ourselves in another finals, Falcons versus M80. Now, once again, I'm going to do a little bit of history just because the build-up to these two teams is amazing. So Falcons would actually join Rainbow Six Siege back in 2019, yet, however, they did not start with this roster that they have now. So we actually move forward to 2024, where we have a team called BDS. They are, without a doubt, EU's best team, and it's not even a long shot. Their roster consisting of Bride, Solotov, Uzis, Shaiko, the Demon, and led by probably one of the greatest IGLs, Liquifact, taking first in the EU League and setting up for what looked to be a very dominant run at the Manchester Major. BDS would go through the upper bracket the whole way, securing their spot in the finals. Now, let's see what unfortunate souls are meant to meet them through the lower bracket. Beast Coast from North America. This team that was just formed that year by what was considered rejects. Players that were really unjustified in being dropped by their team or just were kind of looked to be done, washed. This team consisted of Gavini, Hot and Cold, Spirits, Rookie Diffuser, and Gunner. And a team that finished last the year before in North America with this brand new roster would go on to take first in North America. But who cares, right? It's just NA. And just like in every other esport, North America is pretty much the butt of the joke. We suck. And so, how will these guys do across seas in, an LAN event? Well, let's find out.
And riding the most wonderful wave is Beast Coast! Defying odds and expectations, sending shockwaves through the siege scene inside the camp.
There's still so much for the two remaining defenders to try and rebuild, and they find the head. Top left there, looking for the second. It's not a two!
No way.
For Gunner, slow to react, but there's an impact!
They're still going to keep on hunting him down. They know that he's here. Will he manage to get the free? Not quite. They found him first as well. It was a matter of pixels.
Safe place. He hits the top of the stairs. They'll have the call. They have the watch. They have the catch. But this time...
Critical kills, yes, he can, and it's the Soulless that he takes down. He's going to walk in.
The Sophia charges on the back end. The castle not far away. Gunner.
He's broke it.
That is our new best of 5 record holder.
Battle. And there it is, just to confirm, 59.
Looks for a long challenge on into Bathroom, is not going to find it. Gunner is able to do a lot of damage along the way. Shackle, less than half health. Pre-Day taken out. Hot and Cold finding Leakerback. It's all falling apart. This could be flawless for Beast Coast right now as they just hit the accelerator pedal. They slam the foot down and keep it to the floor. In fact, taking damage, but Hot and Cold taking more. 3 versus 1. Surely BDS hold on for another round, but no. Gunner might have something to say.
Stronger than I think anybody expected, and show what you can do, what can be achieved, and what can be built upon from the ground. Beast Coast are your champions. Lift that trophy.
From the lower bracket, they would go on to take FaZe, last year's SI finalist, blowing a 6-1 lead. I guess FaZe is just choking. It's just something that goes on in every one of their teams.
With a very fast Cloud9 are your E-League Major champions!
After taking down FaZe, they would go on to beat Liquid, another Brazilian powerhouse, securing their spot in the finals. Beast Coast would go on to win the Manchester Major with a huge upset. No one saw this coming. For BDS, this was not a great start of the year. You are supposed to be the best team, looking to upset Brazil's reign of terror. You are the guy. And you just lost to a team of nobodies, basically. A team from North America full of rejects. You lost to that. And this started, I'm telling you, this started something in their mind. Because outside of EWC, where they would go on to take that win, and it looked like they were set to, be dominant for the rest of the year, with the Montreal Major just right around the corner, BDS would be ranked number 1 in the EU again, and being called the heavy favorites is really an understatement. They look untouchable when they're playing. I mean, they are taking dominant wins, even when the games look close. It does not look like they are playing against tier 1 teams. It looks like they are in control from start to finish. So the Montreal Major is starting, and once again, through the upper bracket, securing their spot in the finals. So who will they go on to play? They actually go on to play the team Furia just finished poaching the year before, taking their SI winning team, W7M. So here we go. BDS, the heavy favorites, taking on the rebuild team W7M. And let's see how this goes.
Dot's absorbing an awful lot of damage. He'll set things up and he'll have to pull out a goo mine before the job of getting the case down can be done. Loban defending against it. The first domino for BDS. EFAT dies. Pre-Day goes as well. BDS have lost Shaiko and use this. BDS are finding out the hard way right now that when you mess with the balls, you get the horns. situation, different roster, same results. W7M, major champions.
They would get upset 3-1. Man, what is up with these rebuild teams and this upsets? Like, this shouldn't happen, okay? This is not normal. Well, forget about all that, because really there's only one event that really matters in Rainbow, and that's SI, the 6th Invitational. And it's being held in Boston this year. And even after taking home 2 second-place tournaments, they would go into SI ranked number 1 in the world. So, SI starts Boston. And through the upper bracket for the 3rd time, BDS secures their spot in the finals. So, who are they playing? High Face Clan. For 2 events in a row, you've lost to newly built teams, and finally, you face a set-in-stone roster. A roster that just the year before choked a 6-1 lead for the SI of last year. So, who would win? The chokers of this year, or the org that is known for choking? The team that is said to be the heavy favorites in every event this year, or the team that took home 2nd place last year? BDS looked at this and said, no sweat, this will be easy. Oh, they lost? Well, I'm sure they didn't lose that. 3-1? Oh, and their only one was on OT? That's right. For the 3rd event in a row, 2nd place. So it's looking like, maybe it's not the teams that are being used the problem. So what's the problem? Is the org? Well, you're in luck, because there's an organization looking to buy the number 1 spot. Welcome to Team Falcons. So, same roster, new team. Let's see how this goes. This new Team Falcons roster was looking like the same, taking first in EU pretty dominantly. And what should be next on our checklist? Winning a major? Alright, well, there's one coming up. Munich, Germany. Securing our spot in the finals to the upper bracket? Check. So what poor team will be their first victim? Oh, just some North American team that got lucky? Okay. So we secure our spot in the upper bracket. Nice and easy. Very nice, And get this. We're playing a North America team. Like, just give us the trophy. Yeah, we're playing M80. Like, who is that? Like, oh, they just rebuilt their team too? Okay. Yeah, this will be... I'm sorry. Say that again? Who's on this team? That's right. Gunner. The man who set the all-time kill record in a best of 5 against BDS is on M80. Okay, guys. Okay. Take a deep breath. We can beat them. They're only the team that started this, what is now the 2nd place streak. Oh my god, we're gonna lose.
He's going to hit the deck. He's down but not out. 3 versus 2.
Gunner's still downstairs as well. He hasn't moved from tank. He hasn't joined Diffuser for the flag. They're committing whole hog to this C4 being what denies it for them. Alley-oop pops up on towards Friday, but doesn't quite finish him off. Enough that he's down to half HP, but that should now get stopped. They're not going to be able to shoot him. Yes, they can. Gunner stepping to the side, getting the diagonal angle. He still hits him. He's like an angel of death from above. They bring it down to a 1v2. All users can do is stick it.
And it's still holding their control.
And this is the thing, I've often said Falcons are one of those teams that love Dockerby team. They play it to the absolute death. It's great to push in, especially with the Deimos. And even though we've seen the Dockerby going down, Shaiko answering some questions about his performances in finals, Tim. He's off for a 3K to kick things off in the 2. Gunner on full HP, off towards his right-hand side. The other crawling in towards his left, and he's been forced out of sight here. Conceded it away. Diffuser is not in hand for these boys. It's sat inside Electric with him. He's waiting for the rounding, but there's no shield, Tim. Shotgun at the ready.
This is really smart from Brady. He knows what... He's scared for their life, Tim. They are, but they're doing a good job of holding the other side of the attack back. They do have catwalk.
Here trying to bait Falcons in. They've done so good at getting side control and forcing the Frenchman back. Shaiko and Bride, the last 2 left standing in this 2 versus 2, Tim.
Just looking now to take those 1v1s if they can, but they're up against a Blackbeard, and that's the problem. Keno's used that shield beautifully to bait out the challenge, and Hot and Cold picked up the kill. It's now 1v2 for Shaiko. If anybody can, we know that it's him, but it's unlikely as Keno manages manages to drop the shield through the round with a minute to go, but manages to get Gunner. The diffuser was going down, but Falcons fighting back.
And diffuser's actually come off the plant here as well. Knows that he needs to go Gunner. But you
gets himself down into Exo, utility expended again. Shaiko manages to cut down diffuser from behind him. That could be a big kill for Falcons because it takes away the shield support. Shaiko with another nitro onto Gunner. 3 versus 3. Brede finds an answer onto Gaveni, and all of a sudden Falcons find themselves in the driving seat. They can start picking up the pace here. They can start getting aggressive. That's what they're gonna do, and it's that man Shaiko.
But there's 2 kills back. Gunner carries on, 17 kills on the map.
They need to win this position. Shaiko has to win this fight, but doesn't. Hot and Cold manages to take him down, and surely that is the one. That is the key for the North American side to take down Falcons M80 right now.
On Skyscraper, it's a different story. They would take M80 in regulation, and was pretty dominant fashion too.
Backstairs, use the power of that shield that they've got left, but it's low health. Solotov manages to pick up Gunner, and Falcons are starting to play with more and more confidence. They're starting to land body blows onto M80.
And that's it, everyone is back to side. There's nothing that can be done. They just read onto that movement from Hot and Cold. They knew he was going to try and hit the side. The gas grenade was waiting for him. What's the answer here? Honestly, as an ideal, no idea.
Only the 2 left standing here with a lot to recover. And with very limited time, it doesn't feel like it's one they should be able to get over the line, but you can just never say never in Siege. Diffuser's really got to work some magic. It's going to be a flawless round.
There's something you need to know. This isn't just the main Beast Coast roster. They are now led by the greatest IGL and in the running for greatest coach, 3-time SI winner, Fabian. And when you have someone at his level running your team, you're bound for greatness.
Using that shield to just create himself a little bit of space. It feels like Falcons maybe don't quite have the control that they need to be in this position, and that's exactly why. Because Gunner comes over the top rope with a huge elbow, takes 2 down. Kino finds Leakafak, and in a hot
He'll be somewhere at some point, steps in, takes shots, and now they most definitely know. Still 1 player and half all they could try and shut down here. The Solotov, he'll hold on for as long as he can. Turns out it's about half a second tip.
He's down inside, Gunner is in trophy. He manages to find the first, that's Brede down. It's all up to Shaiko, 4 seconds left to go. Hot and Cold's gonna give Gunner those extra seconds to take the fight, but Shaiko wins it. He's looking for the last fight, and he finds him. Some of the pressure, Hot and Cold, however, he's going to stick this unless they can do something about it. Falcons cannot.
He's got it.
Diffuser manages to get the kill. The plant is down. Falcons are on the retake, though.
Diffuser's got to go nuclear. He hits the 1. Needs a third in the round. This could be theirs. He's got the track. Leakafak is in. Trying to stick on towards the disable here. Here's him rounding. But how long can this game of cat and mouse continue? Still got a bit of time. The nade bounces off the floor. Not going to be able to find his man. Has to go quick. Leakafak is pulled off. Diffuser hits at least 1, but it doesn't finish the man off. The chase continues. Doesn't want to use the track. Needs to stay on his feet. He's coming round for it. Diffuser.
They've got them surrounded, but they're not able to actually go in and take any ground as of yet. Kino, he's been up and down these stairs about 10 times now.
Now look at that, the information game is too strong. They punish the movement, if they get 2 kills, Shaiko fights back.
Well, that's what you need. Shaiko is all you need. Looking for their Route 4 trophy, looking to be the one. Diffuser gets rid of users, just leaking back, and Shaiko still to stand, but he lets him through, Tim. He's slipped through the nets. 1 more coming back. Shaiko has got to go absolutely nuclear in these last 20 seconds.
1 versus 2, low health, Diffuser going down. It is all stacked against him, surely. This is an M80 round, and it will be as Diffuser finds the
That Gavini, he's going to on the bunk. If he can get rid of the buck, then he wins the round. The rest of the team can play all of that window of the Kiba barriers. The connector window player is dead. The only win condition is Gavini on the buck.
Oh, and here he is underneath. He has been so patient, and he has been rewarded. Solotov not going to have the time here to get back upstairs. Gaveni with a masterclass. With Leakafak and Solotov both can afford to disappear as long as they're getting something for it.
They've got Gavini and Diffuser both working from underneath at the minute, looking to clear utility, but also looking to clear manpower, but it's not going to matter because they've got holes to replace. Hong gets taken out. Solotov with a second. Falcons are fighting, and they are here for it. Solotov wakes up on console, finds a double, and it's 5 versus 2.
Come on,
he's unstoppable.
On for a 4, surely. And it's exactly what he finds.
It's Solotov who's just in behind the screen. He pops out, Kino finds him, and here comes the bloodbath. 14 seconds left to go. It's all going in favour of M80. One kill after another. Kino has found the space to put the diffuser down. He is going to stick it. Brede manages to get a kill, but he's going to have to find 3 more, and he's going to have to do it in a post plant. M80 have the time to pull back into secure positions.
We spoke about how the players are going to start feeling tired, and you've just seen it from the IGL of Falcons. He gets 1 kill there. He guarantees himself a second. Brede, I don't think he's going to have enough time to make this one work.
The one bomb site that they prefer, right? The top floor one. They'll be poking around, trying to find a solution, and a quick entry point here from Likefak, trying to apply pressure, and he dies instantly.
Good night. Likefak at times, as well as being a brilliant IGL, is also a great player, and Gunnar, that's a way to shatter the mental. Gaveni now pushed back by the fire taking place, and this is where the stall will come into full effect, Tim.
Peeking around the corner here, trying to get something going, but there's absolutely nothing to be found. Gunnar is there waiting, ready, pounces with a headshot, takes him down, and it leaves Falcons now 2 versus 4. Make that 3 for Gunnar. He's just collecting them at this point. They're in his pocket. He owns this top floor. And right now, there is 1 more available. Every turn, we can see utility being dumped into the site by Falcons. Kino, however, he's the one with the utility that pays. It's going to be a nitro. It's going to be a kill onto Brede. 2 versus 2. As Usus is there with the trade, but Gaveni picks up Likefak at the same time. Usus, Shaiko, they've got it all to do. Malusi, the track comes in, but it doesn't matter. Gaveni has got the answer. He backs his teammate up. Shaiko, he might be able to stick the plant. They find some damage. They find enough. It's
Running around on the Solus.
But Gunnar is here. He's in piano. He knows about the Ash. He knows about the Ash in lobby, and he gets the kill. And like I said before, Likefak is by himself. There is no trade potential. And once again, that's the opening kill going the way of M80.
I think they're just going to try and hit site here. They've gone in pretty rapid, but you've always risked now being hit on the flank by someone. The shield up nice and close. Brede asking questions. And answers so far still being given by M80. They make it the 3rd. They're about to go to championship point, Tim, and a flawless round. Time eventually went down to the gunfight anyway, but they're really going to have to hold on here, Tim. As I said, let's get this done, close it out here, and now it's your game to win. The Falcons, you just feel something's in the air.
Solotov manages to pick up that opening kill. They're using those shields to pressure. 4 versus 3 as we get a bit of a back and forth. Brede does take a lot of damage. 3 versus 3 as Diffuser manages to find one. The challenge is there onto the Blackbeard. 3 versus 2. This could be the moment. The NA team, plenty of time left on the clock for them to eat up. But Brede is low health, and Likefak has got a serious job to do.
No utility available here for the defenders to stave off this shield. The last call comes on through from Likefak. They have to do something now, Tim.
1 minute left on the clock for Falcons to rescue themselves, but it's 3 versus 1, Des. This is Brede left on his own on a Monte. Most of these players... No, it's Likefak. He's left alive. He's 1v2. He's fighting back. But we look at the side of M80, they've got him either side. Most of these players, they took the title in Manchester, but they were scattered when the wave that they rode crashed back with a bang.
Gentlemen, your Rainbow Six Munich Major Champions, it's M80!
That's right. For the 4th time in a row, 2nd place. November 16th, 2025 is a really bad day for the Falcons organization. 2 powerhouse teams and what's probably considered 2 of the top shooters in esports would go home 2nd once again. And that's not to say Falcons aren't a bad team or aren't going to win. It's going to happen. Falcons are dynasty bound in all of esports. So while the money keeps flowing, and it will keep flowing, esports enjoyers can sleep well knowing that the Falcons takeover hasn't happened yet. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thank you. Bye.